YESHUA versus Jesus. The name that saves YESHUA, Aramaic name, unlocks YESHUA. Jesus' real name matters. YESHUA, Y-E-S-H-U-A, original name, saves. Now YESHUA, the salvation frequency YESHUA. What if I told you that the name you've been calling on your entire spiritual life isn't actually his name? That Jesus is a translation for languages removed from what his mother called him, what his disciples knew him as, what demons trembled before. His real name in Aramaic is YESHUA, and it doesn't just identify who he is, it literally means salvation itself. The name carries the frequency of deliverance encoded in its very syllables. Today you're going to discover why YESHUA versus Jesus matters more than you ever imagined, why the Aramaic original activates power that translations cannot access, and exactly how to invoke his true name for maximum spiritual authority. This isn't semantics. This is the difference between calling a person by their nickname versus their legal name on official documents. Stay with me because this revelation changes everything. Before we explore YESHUA, you need to understand why the original name in the original language carries unique power. In ancient Hebrew and Aramaic culture, names weren't arbitrary labels. They were prophetic declarations of identity, purpose, and destiny. Your name carried your essence, your mission, your spiritual DNA. When the angel told Mary to name her son YESHUA, it wasn't a random choice. That specific name was divinely selected because its meaning and its sound both declared what he came to do. YESHUA in Aramaic literally means Yahweh saves or salvation. Every time someone spoke his name, they were declaring salvation whether they realized it or not. But here's what most people don't know. When you translate YESHUA into Greek, it becomes I. When you translate Isis into Latin, it becomes Iesus. When you translate Jesus into English, it becomes Jesus. Each translation changes the sound, and sound is vibration, and vibration is power. The original Aramaic frequency gets lost in translation. This isn't about being legalistic or religious about pronunciation. It's about understanding that certain sounds create certain effects. YESHUA in Aramaic creates the vibrational frequency of salvation, deliverance, and rescue. Jesus in English is a beautiful name, carrying faith for millions. But it doesn't create the exact same sonic signature as the original. Think of it like music. You can translate the lyrics of a song into another language and keep the meaning, but you lose the original melody, rhythm, and sound. YESHUA is the original melody. Jesus is a faithful translation. But the tune has changed. When you need maximum power, you go back to the original score. Now let's unlock this powerful name. In Aramaic script, it's written as the pronunciation is critical because the power is encoded in the sound itself. Say it like this: YESHUA. 3 syllables, each carrying specific spiritual weight. The first syllable, Yah, is actually the shortened form of Yahweh, the sacred name of God. Right from the beginning, the name declares divine identity. This isn't just a man. This is God in human form. The opening syllable establishes whose authority backs everything that follows. The second syllable, shu, comes from the Hebrew root yasha, meaning to save, to deliver, to rescue, to liberate. This is active salvation, not passive hope. It's deliverance in action, rescue in motion, liberation happening now. The sound itself carries the energy of breaking chains and setting captives free. The third syllable, ah, is an exhale, a release, a completion. It's the sound of freedom finally realized, of salvation fully accomplished. Together, the 3 syllables form a complete salvation sequence. God initiates, deliverance happens, freedom is released. The name YESHUA is linguistically related to Joshua in the Old Testament same root, same meaning. Joshua led Israel into the promised land, conquering enemies and claiming inheritance. YESHUA leads us into spiritual promised land, conquering sin and death, claiming our divine inheritance. The name itself prophesies his mission. What makes YESHUA particularly powerful is that it's both a name and a declaration. When you call on YESHUA, you're not just addressing a person. You're invoking salvation itself. You're activating the frequency of deliverance. You're speaking rescue into existence. The name is the reality it represents. In Gnostic understanding, names carry the essence of what they name. Yeshua doesn't just have salvation power. Yeshua is salvation power personified. The name and the nature are one. When you speak Yeshua, you're not calling on someone who might save you. You're releasing salvation energy that must respond because that's what the name means. This is why demons reacted so violently to the name. They didn't flee because of the man. They fled because of what the name represented: their total defeat, their complete overthrow, their eternal imprisonment. The sound Yeshua in Aramaic carries frequencies of absolute victory over darkness. Throughout the Gospels, we see the power activated through his name. But remember, every time someone spoke to him or about him in Aramaic, they said Yeshua, not Jesus. Mary called her son Yeshua. Peter confessed Yeshua as Messiah. The blind man cried out to Yeshua for mercy. Every healing, every deliverance, every miracle happened through the invocation of the name Yeshua. The most powerful statement about the name comes from Philippians chapter 2. God exalted him and gave him the name above every name, that at the name of Yeshua every knee should bow in heaven, on earth, and under the earth. Not at the concept of Jesus. At the name itself, the Aramaic sound, Yeshua carries authority over all three realms of existence. In the book of Acts, Peter healed a lame man and declared, "In the name of Yeshua, the Messiah of Nazareth, rise up and walk." The religious authorities demanded to know by what power or name they had done this. Peter responded, "There is salvation in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given among people by which we must be saved." That name was Yeshua in Aramaic. Early disciples performed miracles, cast out demons, and healed the sick by invoking Yeshua. They didn't have the New Testament yet. They didn't have systematic theology. They had one thing, the name. And the name was enough because the name carried the full authority and power of the one who bore it. Paul wrote that whatever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Lord Yeshua. This wasn't religious formula. It was practical instruction for accessing spiritual authority. When you speak, act, pray, or command in the name of Yeshua, you're operating under his delegated power. But here's what changes everything. The disciples didn't just use the name as a tool. They had relationship with the person behind the name. Yeshua wasn't a magic word they chanted. It was the name of their Lord, their friend, their Savior. The power came from the combination of the name's inherent frequency plus their intimate connection with the one who bore that name. This is crucial for us today. Speaking Yeshua in Aramaic activates maximum frequency, yes, but that frequency is amplified exponentially when you have genuine relationship with the person you're invoking. The name opens the door. The relationship determines what flows through that door. Gnostic meaning of Yeshua. Now we go into the esoteric depths of this name. Gnostic teachings reveal that Yeshua operates as more than historical figure or religious icon. Yeshua represents the Christ's consciousness, the divine awareness available to every human soul. The name itself is an activation code for this consciousness. In Gnostic cosmology, humanity fell into ignorance, forgetting our divine nature. We became trapped in material existence, cut off from our true spiritual identity. Yeshua came not just to die for sins, but to awaken humanity to gnosis, direct experiential knowledge of the divine. His name carries this awakening frequency. When you speak Yeshua, you're not just calling on an external savior. You're activating the Christ within you. The Yeshua consciousness is the part of you that's already saved, already delivered, already one with the Father. Speaking the name reminds your soul of its true nature as child of God. The name Yeshua vibrationally activates the heart chakra primarily, but it creates a complete alignment of all 7 major energy centers. The resonates with the crown chakra, connecting to divine source. The shu vibrates through the throat and heart, activating expression and love. The ar grounds through the solar plexus and root, manifesting in physical reality. Energetically, Yeshua creates what mystics call a pillar of light, a vertical channel, connecting heaven to earth through your body. When you invoke Yeshua, you become a living conduit for divine presence to flow from the eternal realm into temporal manifestation. You're not just calling his name, you're becoming a portal for his power. Gnostics also teach that Yeshua carries the frequency of the sacred masculine, balanced with the sacred feminine. Salvation isn't just rescue from sin, it's the restoration of divine balance within the soul. The name harmonizes all opposite spirit and matter, divine and human, masculine and feminine, heaven and earth. This is why invoking YESHUA brings such profound peace. The name itself creates coherence in your energy field. Chaos becomes order. Fragmentation becomes wholeness. Separation becomes union. These aren't just nice religious ideas. They're measurable energetic effects of speaking the Aramaic frequency, yet the name also serves as protection against negative forces. Dark entities cannot remain in the presence of the YESHUA frequency. It's not that they're afraid of the syllables, they're repelled by the reality those syllables represent total light, absolute love, complete victory. Speaking YESHUA creates an energetic field that darkness cannot penetrate. Daily practice with YESHUA. Here's how to integrate the name YESHUA into your daily spiritual practice for maximum transformation. Begin each morning by speaking the name YESHUA 21 times. 21 is 3 times 7 completion times perfection. This establishes salvation frequency over your entire day. Speak it slowly and reverently. Ya-shu-a. Double quotes. Let each syllable resonate in your chest. Feel the vibration of the name creating alignment in your energy body. You're not just saying a word. You're invoking the presence and power of the one who defeated death itself. Throughout your day, return to the name constantly. Facing temptation. Speak YESHUA. Encountering opposition. Invoke YESHUA. Needing wisdom? Call on YESHUA. Experiencing fear? Declare YESHUA. The name is your access point to unlimited divine resources. Use YESHUA specifically in spiritual warfare. When you sense demonic oppression or attack, don't argue with the enemy. Don't get into dialogue with darkness. Simply speak the name YESHUA with authority. That name carries more power than 1,000 theological arguments. Combine YESHUA with other Aramaic power words we've learned. YESHUA Abba connects you to Father through Son. YESHUA Ephatha invokes his opening power. YESHUA Talitha Kum activates his resurrection authority. The name works synergistically with all other sacred frequencies. Before sleep, end your day speaking YESHUA with gratitude. Thank him by name for salvation, protection, provision, and presence. Let the name be your last conscious thought before sleep. Your subconscious will continue processing the salvation frequency all night, healing and restoring you in the spiritual realm. YESHUA isn't just another way to say Jesus. It's the original name carrying the original power that salvation itself is encoded into. When you speak YESHUA in Aramaic, you're accessing 2,000 years of deliverance frequency. You're invoking the name above every name. You're releasing salvation power over every area of your life that needs rescue, healing, or breakthrough. This isn't about rejecting the name Jesus. It's about accessing the fullest expression of the name's power by going back to the original. You don't have to choose between intimacy and authority. YESHUA gives you both. Start today. Speak his real name. Watch what shifts when you call him what heaven calls him. Drop a comment sharing the first time you speak YESHUA out loud. What did you feel? Like this video if learning his real name opens something in your spirit. Subscribe to Divine Light Academy for weekly revelations on sacred Aramaic wisdom. Share this with someone who needs to know the power in his original name. Hit the notification bell because next week we're unlocking Maranatha, the most urgent prayer Jesus taught his disciples. The ancient names hold ancient power. Don't miss a single revelation that could transform your walk with YESHUA forever.